wanted to talk today about why we've been on this journey of self-reliance. And then I'm going to talk about, in a separate video, the very first thing you can do to take meaningful steps towards self-reliance this spring. It's January now in the UK, and winter has still got us in its icy grip, but there's loads that you can be doing to build self-reliance. And it's not as hard as you think. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as you think. The why, that's the first thing I want to talk about in this video. I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. I've always been obsessed with fitness and health. I'm 37 now, and I think I started training initially to get better at rugby, but really just to get bigger and stronger, to build my own confidence when I was maybe 12 or 13. It's been a long journey since then. In that time, I've been a police officer and used my fitness functionally. I've abused my health when I was a police officer. Night shifts, not understanding their impact, eating shit food because I was always tired, overtraining, and then going on to open a gym and kind of getting better, but still not really understanding what true human health is. But training very hard and getting pretty fit and strong. And now skip forward, and I'm a father. I'm now a firefighter, and we're on a journey towards growing, raising and hunting as much of our own food as possible, and building a network of people who are interested in similar things but can support us and we can support them. I like to think of it as coming back to our human origins. I think that what I've realised from my journey in self-reliance and growing and raising food and hunting it is that actually there's more to this than health, a lot more. This is about who we are as humans. It is actually fundamentally what makes us feel good, to be outside on the land, to watch the sunrise, to watch the sunset, to live with the seasons. It's unbelievably satisfying to grow, raise and then process, store and eat that delicious food. It's unbelievably frustrating when you get it wrong. But from those challenges and those moments of stress come the learning curves and come the satisfaction of learning skills that humans for millennia have had at the very centre of their lives, and a way of life that has been our natural way of being for millennia until the last 100, 150, maybe 200 years for most humans. So many good things have come from progress. I'm unbelievably grateful that if I break my leg today, that I'll be able to go to A&E and get seen to and helped, and that I'll recover from that. That if I slice my hand open today, that there's an antibiotic waiting to make sure I don't get infected. But whilst we have made progress, there's been massive trade-offs for us as humans and the environment around this progress. And I think that building self-reliance started as a building food security in an unstable world, in a food system that doesn't have our health at its heart, where it was very hard for us to get the quality of organic veg and meat and fruit that we wanted. So we started to try and do it ourselves. And what we found is actually that life on the land, borrowed land, it's not ours, we are borrowing this land, all very peasantish, I guess. But life, doing these jobs, these menial tasks, learning these skills is so fulfilling and rewarding. Much more deeply gratifying than anything else I've come across in this world. So that's why we're doing it. Or that's one of the reasons we're doing it. I mentioned that we live in an unstable world. I think that we've forgotten these skills in a couple of generations, really. Most of us in the West. We rely on elongated food chains, dominated by corporations using methods of growing, raising, and transporting food that are inherently destructive and extractive and not sustainable. That's deeply concerning. It's unethical, and I think there's a better way. I think that consumerism and materialism mean that humans now think they don't have time for this. Well, actually, we do have time for it. And like I said, there's so much more to it that is much more deeply gratifying and builds more connection than you can ever have from the materialistic, consumer-driven aspects of our society. I didn't realise that until I started. I didn't realise that was part of it, but it is. I believe that not only is it the food systems that are concerning, but I believe that, well, I think that globalism might have had its day. I think that capitalism is a failed experiment. I don't necessarily think any of the other political options are particularly safe or good. I feel deeply disillusioned with the options open to us. Because everything is always still centered around growth, endless growth. And I think that centralization and huge megalith nation states that the West has become always leads to an elite holding power in a way that is almost unavoidable no matter the political system, and they almost always have themselves or growth or some other abstract entity at their core as their core values. It leaves the little people like us to kind of be washed along in this riptide of geopolitical current affairs. And I think what we're seeing in the UK at the moment and a lot of the West is the middle class is disappearing, and there are going to be very soon potentially the elites who have more money than you can shake a fucking stick at, and the people who are just getting by. And within that there might be a delineation, of course, but financially things are tough. I think that geopolitically things are very uncertain. Globalism is dying. You know, I've grown up in a world where security was guaranteed by this world order, and that is going. And I don't necessarily think that world order was a particularly healthy thing at all. I think it was as extractive and destructive, just much more subtly so than colonialist systems of the past. But I have to admit that I have grown up in peace and security and have led a privileged life so far. But I do believe that coming back to these skills of being self-reliant to an extent is an incredibly important thing to be prepared for what the future might bring us for building resiliency. And I believe the same for fitness as well. I believe being healthy and strong in our minds and our bodies is also incredibly important. And we've got a young son, and I think that I have a responsibility to teach him all of these things, show him all of these things. If he's interested in them, then that's great. If he's not, then that's totally him. But there's got to be the option of handing down this generational knowledge. So that's why. I'm not sure I've summed it up that clearly, but if it resonated with you, you might want to watch the next video. That's going to be about how to get started and my most important lessons on self-reliance in vegetables. Staple carbohydrates, potatoes, and then onions and garlic. They're the staples that we use week in, week out, and that's what the next video is going to be about, because we're coming up to the time of year where we need to gather resources for that and start preparing the ground for that.